No one returned after fighting humans. Their armies were erased without aid. The galaxy had many great empires, each proud of its strength and power. Some ruled dozens of planets, others ruled hundreds. The humans were new to this part of the galaxy, and most species thought they were weak. Their bodies were soft, their ships were slow, and their weapons seemed old. Many species laughed at the humans and said they would be easy to defeat. No one expected that humans could fight like no one else. Commander Ethan Brooks stood on the bridge of his human defense cruiser. He looked at the stars and thought about what was coming. Scouts had reported that the alien alliance was gathering a huge army near the outer systems. This alliance had never lost a war. Their ships were fast, their weapons were strong, and their soldiers were trained for battle from birth. Many humans believed they could not stand against such power, but Ethan did not fear. He had seen humans survive against odds that seemed impossible. He knew there was something the galaxy did not understand about humans. In the command room, his officers whispered among themselves. Lieutenant Rachel Evans tapped her fingers on the console. She had grown up hearing stories of human wars in their own solar system. She knew humans had survived things that would have destroyed other species. Still, facing an alien alliance with millions of soldiers was terrifying. Captain Ethan Brooks noticed the worry in her eyes and said, "Stay calm. We will not run. We will prepare." His voice was steady, full of quiet confidence. It made the officers feel safer, even if only a little. Across the galaxy, the alien alliance was confident. Their leaders, Admiral Cartman and General Celara, studied their plans. They had dozens of fleets ready, millions of ships and armies trained for decades. They had spies reporting every human movement. "Humans are weak," Cartman said. "They will fall like grass before the fire. We will enter their systems and take everything. No one will stop us." Celara nodded. "Yes, and when we are done, the galaxy will remember that humans are nothing." They laughed, unaware that their arrogance was dangerous. Humans did not fight like any species they had faced before. The first scouts of the alien fleet crossed the border of human space. They reported seeing few ships, empty stations, and quiet planets. No humans attacked. The aliens assumed this meant fear. They thought humans were weak, hiding, or too afraid to fight. Ethan Brooks, watching from a distant human outpost, did not panic. He had expected this. Humans often used silence as a shield. While the enemy believed humans were afraid, humans were watching, planning, and ready. On one small human colony, civilians prepared quietly. Families packed belongings, moved to underground shelters, or boarded small transport ships. They did not panic, they did not scream or cry, they moved with purpose. Children held hands with parents. Elders guided the younger ones. It was not chaos, it was careful preparation. Ethan knew that when humans were calm, it meant they were ready to face anything. The aliens would see the calm and misinterpret it. They would mistake patience for weakness, and that mistake could cost them everything. Alien scouts sent messages back to the main fleets. "Humans are retreating," they reported. "Their ships are few. Their planets are empty. They are weak, we can attack immediately." The alien alliance rejoiced. Their admirals cheered. They believed victory would be easy. They had not met humans in a real battle. They had only seen them in stories where humans seemed fragile. They did not understand that humans fought differently. They did not understand that humans were unpredictable, and that unpredictability was dangerous in war. Ethan Brooks gathered his officers in the command room. Among them were Lieutenant Rachel Evans, Ensign David Mills, and Navigator Olivia Grant. They all looked worried. Ethan spoke slowly. "The alien alliance thinks we are afraid. They see few ships and empty stations, and they think they have an advantage. We will not fight their way. We will not rush into open battle. We will use the advantage they give us. Patience is our weapon." His words were clear, simple, and firm. They gave hope to officers who were worried about facing millions of enemy soldiers. In the Alien Alliance, excitement grew. Fleets were prepared. Massive warships fueled, soldiers trained, and weapons loaded. They called the humans cowards and weaklings. Their pride was immense. They could not imagine that a species so small and new could pose a threat to their vast empire. Many fleets were sent forward, each one confident of an easy victory. They believed humans would flee, surrender, or die quickly. The first fleet of the Alien Alliance entered a human system near the outer border. It was quiet. Stations were dark. Planets seemed empty. No signals came from human ships. The aliens thought it was over. They sent soldiers to land on planets, expecting no resistance. But human traps had been set. Hidden mines floated near the jump lanes. Stealth ships waited behind asteroids. Automated defense systems were ready. The humans had studied the enemy, learned their habits, and set traps for every step. Ethan Brooks and his command team watched from a hidden station. They had thousands of small, fast ships, but not a single massive warship like the aliens. They did not need them. Humans fought differently. Humans used speed, surprise, and tactics that no alien had seen before. Every move was carefully planned. Even small civilian transports had sensors to detect enemy ships. Humans had turned their ordinary ships into tools of war without anyone realizing it. As the alien fleet approached the first planet, they activated weapons. Lasers, missiles, and ion cannons fired in the empty skies. Nothing hit the humans. Drones had already disarmed most weapons. Stealth ships struck from unexpected angles. Communications failed. Enemy ships were confused. They could not understand what was happening. Their sensors showed humans moving slowly, calmly, as if they were not afraid. The Alien Alliance did not realize that calm humans were the most dangerous humans. On the bridge of Ethan Brooks' ship, officers cheered quietly as the enemy fleet slowed. They did not fire in panic. They watched every alien move and adjusted human defenses accordingly. Ethan said, "Remember, patience is our strength. Let them make mistakes. We will finish this carefully." Humans were not reckless. They were careful, calculating, and completely committed to survival. Each move was measured, every attack precise. Even the smallest human ship could destroy a much larger enemy if it acted correctly. The aliens continued to advance, thinking humans were retreating. They did not realize that every step forward was taking them deeper into traps. Hidden mines, stealth fighters, and automated defenses surrounded them. Suddenly, communication networks failed. Alien ships could not talk to each other. Their formations broke. Confusion spread quickly. Commanders tried to regroup, but sensors were jammed. Small human fighters struck from unexpected directions, disabling massive warships in minutes. The aliens had never faced such precision before. On the planets, humans did not celebrate. Civilians were safe underground or in shelters. Soldiers moved quietly, checking traps and observing enemy movements. Every action was careful and deliberate. Humans did not need to shout or show strength. Their presence alone, their planning and patience, created fear in the enemy. Ethan Brooks watched the unfolding chaos with pride. Humans had survived worse situations, but this was a moment that would show the galaxy how humans fought differently. As the alien fleet tried to retreat, jump lanes collapsed. Massive warships were disabled by hidden systems. Smaller ships were destroyed or captured. The alien commanders had no idea what was happening. Every signal they tried to send failed. The first fleet, confident and arrogant, was now completely trapped. The humans had not fired openly. They had only used their planning, patience, and understanding of space. Yet the alien fleet faced total destruction. Ethan Brooks' crew watched silently as reports came in. Enemy ships were destroyed. Some had surrendered, but many were lost entirely. No distress calls escaped. The aliens had assumed humans were weak, but humans had erased the first fleet without speaking a single word. The galaxy would not see this for days. Alien leaders would wonder where their ships went, But humans did not need recognition. They only needed survival and victory. In the human command room, officers spoke quietly. They understood the importance of what had just happened. Lieutenant Rachel Evans said, "They thought we were weak. They thought they could win. They had no idea." Ethan nodded. "They will not understand until it is too late." Humans do not fight for pride or glory. We fight so completely that the enemy cannot continue. That is our way. That is why no one has ever beaten humans when they are prepared. The first encounter ended with silence. The alien alliance did not know what had happened. Their ships were gone, their soldiers either dead or captured. No humans had died in open battle. Civilians were safe. The galaxy, however, had yet to hear the story. Rumors would spread slowly, whispers in trading stations and embassy halls. Humans had won, but quietly, as they always did. The lesson was clear: never underestimate humans. They fought differently. They survived differently. And they had patience that could destroy even the largest fleet. Ethan Brooks stood on the bridge, watching stars shine like distant diamonds. He thought about the battles yet to come. The alien alliance would send more fleets. They would think humans were weak. He knew that patience, preparation, and strategy would remain humans' greatest weapons. He also knew that the galaxy had no idea how dangerous humans truly were. As the humans prepared for the next wave, one truth was clear. The galaxy had never faced humans like this before. They had underestimated them once, and it had cost them an entire fleet. Ethan smiled quietly. Humans were ready. The galaxy would soon learn that no one returned after fighting humans, and that lesson would be remembered forever. The first alien fleet had vanished without warning. The galaxy waited in silence, unsure of what had happened. Reports from distant systems were incomplete or missing. The alien alliance could not explain the disappearance. They assumed the humans had fled completely, leaving their systems empty. They did not know that humans had planned every move, every trap, every hidden defense that destroyed the fleet without a single open battle. Commander Ethan Brooks watched the stars from the bridge of his command ship. He felt no pride, only focus. Humans did not fight for glory. They fought to survive and protect what mattered. The first fleet was gone, but Ethan knew this was only the beginning. The alien alliance would not give up easily. They would send more fleets, larger fleets, stronger fleets. Humans had to be ready. Lieutenant Rachel Evans stood beside him. She had seen the first attack unfold through sensors and reports. She whispered, "They will not stop. They will try again." Ethan nodded. "We are ready. We know what they do not. They cannot see us the way we see them." Across the galaxy, the alien alliance panicked. Admirals argued in their war rooms. How could an entire fleet disappear? One asked, voice trembling. Another growled, "We have sensors, scouts, and spies." There is no explanation. Carton, the supreme commander, slammed a clawed hand on the table. "Humans are lying. They cannot be this strong. Send another fleet, double it. We will destroy them next time." Celara nodded. "Yes, this time we will show them the power of our empire. We will crush them completely." The Alliance could not imagine that humans had already learned their habits, studied their technology, and planned ways to destroy millions of enemy soldiers with precision. Humans worked silently in preparation. They repaired ships, upgraded systems, and trained crews. Civilians were moved to secure locations. Supply chains were rebuilt, and new traps were set along all known enemy routes. Ethan Brooks met with his officers, including Navigator Olivia Grant and Weapons Officer Daniel Lee. "They will come again," he said. "We must be ready. We will not fight like the aliens expect. We will use space itself as a weapon. Patience will win the day again." The officers listened carefully. Humans did not rush into battle. They did not show pride or arrogance. They waited and watched, and that waiting was terrifying to anyone who faced them. The second alien fleet left their home system. It was larger than the first, stronger and faster. Millions of ships flew together in perfect formation. Their weapons glowed, ready to fire. They crossed into human space, believing this time humans could not escape. Scouts reported the same calm worlds, quiet stations, and few ships. The aliens laughed. They thought humans were hiding, scared, and weak. They did not understand that humans' calm was the deadliest sign. Humans were not afraid. Humans were waiting. As the fleet entered the first system, humans activated traps. Hidden drones emerged from asteroid fields, firing ion pulses that disabled multiple enemy ships at once. Gravity distortions pulled massive cruisers off course, smashing smaller vessels into them. Automated turrets on moons and orbital stations fired precisely, targeting engines and shields. Humans did not attack openly. They did not rush. They moved with careful control, striking exactly where it would hurt the most. Within hours, ships in the alien fleet were disabled. Some were destroyed. Others drifted silently, unable to communicate. Ethan Brooks and his officers monitored every move. "They think they control the battlefield," he said. "Let them make mistakes. Patience is our strength. Precision is our weapon." Rachel Evans nodded. She guided small fighter squadrons to hit weak points in enemy formations. Olivia Grant adjusted sensor arrays to track hidden ships and drones. Every move was calculated. Humans knew the enemy's habits before they acted. The alien fleet had no idea what was happening. They had no plan for humans who fought with patience and intelligence rather than brute force. On some planets, humans watched from shelters. Civilians observed through hidden cameras, reporting enemy movements to human commanders. Even children were part of the system, not in battle, but helping keep families safe. Humans had trained for survival in ways alien species could not understand. The aliens assumed humans fought like everyone else, with open battle lines and visible aggression. Humans fought quietly, carefully, and completely. Their enemies would never recover from mistakes they had already made. As the Second Fleet tried to retreat, humans struck again. Jump lanes collapsed as hidden devices altered gravitational fields. Large cruisers were pulled into asteroid belts. Smaller ships were disabled by electromagnetic pulses. Alien commanders could not regroup. Communication networks were broken. Panic spread quickly. Within hours, the Second Fleet was destroyed. Not a single ship returned home. The alien alliance was stunned. They had expected victory and instead found total defeat. Back on the command ship, Ethan Brooks spoke quietly to his officers. "This is what humans do. We do not fight for pride. We fight to survive. We do not leave survivors because leaving survivors invites return. Enemies who survive come back stronger. Humans destroy completely. This is our way." The officers understood. Humans did not need to shout, parade, or brag. The quiet precision of their actions left the galaxy in shock. No one returned after fighting humans. The alien alliance sent messages back to their home systems. Reports were confused, incomplete, and filled with fear. Admirals and generals argued. "We cannot continue," one said. "We will lose every fleet if we try again." Cartman refused to believe it. "Humans cannot be this strong. We must try again, triple the fleet. We must prove our empire is greater." Selara shook her head. "We risk everything. We cannot lose millions of soldiers again." The debate lasted days. Humans watched quietly, repairing their ships, waiting and preparing for the next attack. Ethan Brooks considered the next steps carefully. Humans did not fight recklessly. They studied, observed, and predicted. Every move the aliens made was recorded, analyzed, and used against them. Lieutenant Rachel Evans checked the sensor logs. "They are coming," she said. Ethan nodded. "We are ready. We know their habits. We will not meet them in open battle. We will use the advantage they give us. Every step they take brings them closer to defeat." Alien scouts reported strange anomalies in human systems. Ships disappeared. Planets seemed quiet but were full of hidden weapons. Every fleet that tried to attack humans faced total destruction. Alien commanders could not understand. They had never seen such tactics. They expected open battle, bravery, and heroics. Humans did not fight like that. Humans fought with patience, intelligence, and total commitment to survival. Every decision was measured, every strike precise, every trap deadly. As the second alien fleet collapsed, humans prepared for the inevitable third. Rumors spread across the galaxy about fleets disappearing. Some species whispered in fear. Some tried to send spies, but probes never returned. Humans had erased two fleets without open battle. The message was clear. Humans were dangerous in ways no one had imagined. Their enemies were learning that no amount of pride or power could overcome humans when humans were ready. Ethan Brooks met with his officers to plan for the third attack. Captain Daniel Lee suggested deploying additional stealth units and drone networks. Olivia Grant adjusted the navigation and sensor systems to predict enemy movements more accurately. Rachel Evans trained fighter pilots for maximum efficiency. Civilians were moved further from danger zones. Humans were calm, prepared, and confident, not because they were fearless, but because they were ready. The Alien Alliance sent the Third Fleet, the largest yet. Millions of ships crossed into human space. They were confident. They believed humans were weak, unprepared, and easy to defeat. The first two fleets had been destroyed, but the Alliance did not understand how humans fought. They thought humans had luck, not strategy. They would learn differently. Humans waited. Ethan Brooks observed from a hidden command station. Small fighter ships flew among asteroid belts. Drones moved silently. Gravity distortions and automated defenses were ready. Humans did not need to fight openly. Every alien ship that came into human space faced traps, ambushes, and attacks that were impossible to predict. Entire fleets could be erased without humans leaving their command stations. As the Third Fleet moved deeper, alien ships began to fail. Communication networks were jammed. Large cruisers collided with hidden obstacles. Smaller ships were destroyed by drones and precision strikes. The Third Fleet, the largest ever sent, faced total destruction. Reports of missing ships reached alien home systems, spreading fear and panic. Carton and Celara could not understand. Millions of soldiers were lost, and humans still did not attack openly. Ethan Brooks stood quietly as reports came in. "This is the way humans survive," he said. "We do not fight for pride. We fight so completely that no enemy remains. We do not need recognition or glory. We need survival and we need victory. That is enough." His officers nodded. They understood completely. Humans had destroyed 3 fleets without open battle, without shouting, without displays of pride. They had only used patience, intelligence, and complete commitment. The galaxy was changing. Species whispered in fear. Empires reconsidered war plans. Humans had shown that fighting them was not about bravery, strength, or numbers. It was about understanding a species that fought differently, completely, and quietly. No one returned after fighting humans. The lesson was being learned, slowly but clearly. As Ethan Brooks looked at the stars, he knew more fleets would come. The Alien Alliance would not give up easily, but humans were ready. Their patience, planning, and precision would destroy any force that tried to attack. The galaxy had underestimated humans, and it would not survive another mistake. Humans were not weak. They were unstoppable when prepared, and the galaxy would soon understand that no one ever returned after fighting them. The galaxy had begun to notice a strange pattern. Entire fleets of the Alien Alliance had disappeared after entering human space. Rumors spread quickly from system to system. Traders whispered in empty corridors. Soldiers murmured in barracks. Diplomats wrote reports in fear. The stories were the same. Humans were not weak. Humans were not simple. Humans fought in ways no one could predict, and their enemies never returned. Commander Ethan Brooks watched from the bridge of his command ship. He had already seen the destruction of the first, second, and third alien fleets. He knew the galaxy would continue to send armies. They could not understand how humans fought. They assumed humans had luck or strange technology, not strategy. But humans relied on planning, patience, and complete understanding of the battlefield. Every enemy fleet that came in would be destroyed, and Ethan would make sure it happened. Inside the alien alliance, fear had begun to replace pride. Admirals argued and blamed each other. "How can this be?" one said. "We have trained for decades. Our fleets are the strongest. We have millions of soldiers, and still humans destroy us." Another general shook his head. "We underestimated them. We thought they were weak. We thought their ships were slow and their weapons primitive. We were wrong." Carton refused to admit it, but even he felt the growing unease. Every empire feared the humans now, but none understood why. The fourth alien fleet left its home system. It was the largest fleet yet, with more ships than any other sent before. Soldiers were confident, hoping to restore pride. They assumed humans had some lucky advantage before, but this time they would fight and win. They did not know that humans had been learning from every attack, studying the first fleets, and preparing for every possible move. Humans did not need luck. Humans had patience, strategy, and intelligence that no alien could match. Ethan Brooks met with his officers, including Lieutenant Rachel Evans, Navigator Olivia Grant, and Weapons Officer Daniel Lee. "They will come again," Ethan said. "We have learned from the first three fleets. We know their tactics. We know how they think. Patience will be our weapon and precision will be our strike. We do not need to fight openly. We only need to make them walk into traps they cannot see." Rachel nodded. "Every fleet is stronger, but humans are ready. We know their habits before they move." Ethan smiled quietly. Humans fought carefully, but they were unstoppable when prepared. As the fourth fleet entered human space, they assumed the humans were weak, hiding, or fleeing. Planets appeared empty, stations were dark, sensors detected few ships, alien admirals laughed. "They are cowards, we will destroy them quickly." The soldiers cheered. They believed victory was simple. They had not yet learned that calm humans were the most dangerous humans. The humans waited, hidden, silent, and ready. Humans struck carefully. Drones emerged from asteroid belts and moons. Gravitational traps pulled large cruisers into collisions. Hidden mines exploded near supply ships. Humans did not fight openly. They attacked precisely, at exactly the right moment. Alien fleets scrambled to regroup. Communication networks failed. Panic spread quickly. Ships that were confident and proud moments before now drifted helplessly in space. Ethan Brooks monitored the battle calmly. "Let them make mistakes," he said. "Do not rush. Do not attack recklessly. Every fleet they send is already defeated if we are patient." Rachel Evans guided small fighter squadrons to disable key enemy ships. Olivia Grant tracked the movements of the entire fleet. Every human officer knew their role. Humans were not reckless. They were precise, careful, and fully committed to survival. On some planets, civilians watched safely from shelters. Families waited quietly, knowing they were protected. Children learned to stay calm, even when enemy ships passed overhead. Elders guided them, teaching lessons of survival and patience. Humans prepared for the galaxy differently than any other species. They did not rely on brute strength or loud battle cries. Their calm, intelligence, and careful preparation were terrifying to their enemies. The Fourth Fleet faced total destruction. Not a single ship returned home. Admirals were lost, unable to contact anyone. Soldiers were destroyed or captured without warning. The alien alliance could not believe it. The humans did not celebrate, did not shout, and did not need glory. They had only destroyed another massive fleet silently, carefully, and completely. The galaxy began to understand that humans were not like other species. Fighting humans meant total defeat. Ethan Brooks gathered his officers after the battle. "Every fleet they send will fail," he said. Humans do not fight for glory. We fight for survival. We fight so completely that no enemy can return. This is why no one has ever defeated us. Every fleet destroyed is a lesson to the galaxy. Patience and precision are stronger than pride and numbers. The officers nodded quietly. They understood completely. Humans had a way of surviving that no alien could imagine. News of the Fourth Fleet spread slowly. Trading stations received fragments of information. Spies returned with reports of empty systems and destroyed fleets. Alien empires whispered in fear. Soldiers who had not yet fought humans were warned. Humans had destroyed 4 fleets without open battle. The message was clear. Humans fought differently, and anyone who underestimated them would fail. Inside Human Command, Ethan Brooks planned for the next attack. "They will continue to send fleets," he said. "We must remain ready. Every movement must be tracked, every enemy habit studied. We do not fight openly, but we destroy completely. The galaxy is learning slowly that humans are dangerous. Our strength is patience, planning, and precision." Rachel Evans added, "We do not need to fight recklessly. We only need to guide them into traps they cannot see. We will not lose a single human life unnecessarily." The Alien Alliance debated their next move. Some wanted to retreat, fearing more destruction. Others, including Carton, refused. "We cannot admit weakness," he said. "We will send another fleet. We must restore pride." "Humans cannot be this strong." Solara shook her head. "We have already lost millions of soldiers. More will die. We cannot continue blindly." Fear had begun to replace pride in their hearts. The galaxy could sense it. Humans had changed the balance of power without firing openly, without shouting, without parades. Their quiet strength was unmatched. Ethan Brooks and his officers prepared for the inevitable Fifth Fleet. Every human ship was repaired and upgraded. Drones were increased in number. Hidden weapons were placed along every known jump lane. Humans did not rush into battle. They waited. They observed. They predicted. Every alien move was recorded and studied. The humans knew the enemy better than the enemy knew themselves. When the Fifth Fleet entered human space, it was confident but cautious. Rumors of previous losses had reached them, but they believed humans had luck, not strategy. They assumed the first fleets had been mistakes. They did not realize that humans had learned from every attack, improved, and prepared for exactly this moment. As the fleet moved deeper, humans struck again. Every large ship was disabled by gravity traps. Drones attacked supply lines and weapons systems. Communication networks failed. Chaos spread through the fleet. Ethan Brooks watched silently. "Patience is our strength," he said. "Precision is our weapon. We do not fight for glory. We fight so completely that the enemy cannot continue. Every move they make is already a mistake if we are patient." Rachel Evans guided squadrons to strike at weak points. Olivia Grant tracked enemy movements and predicted every jump. Humans acted carefully, but every strike was decisive. Alien fleets were destroyed without open battle. Civilians on planets watched quietly, understanding that humans were safe. Families stayed calm. Children learned to stay silent and follow instructions. Elders guided them, teaching lessons of careful observation and preparation. Humans had a way of surviving that no other species could match. Their calm presence, careful planning, and patient strikes made them unstoppable. The Fifth Fleet was gone in days. Alien leaders could not comprehend what had happened. They had assumed humans would fight openly or retreat. Humans did neither. They waited, studied, and struck with precision. 4 fleets had already been destroyed. The 5th confirmed the pattern. The galaxy began to fear humans. No species had ever faced an enemy that could destroy millions without open battle or public display. Humans had become a silent force no one could challenge. Ethan Brooks gathered his officers quietly. "The galaxy is beginning to understand," he said. "Humans do not fight for pride. We fight to survive. Every fleet they send is already doomed if we are patient. We do not need victory speeches. We do not need glory. We need survival, and that is enough. Every fleet destroyed teaches the galaxy that no one returns after fighting humans. The officers understood. Humans had a way of winning that no one could imagine. As news spread slowly across the galaxy, even distant empires began to reconsider. Diplomats advised caution. Soldiers hesitated before attacking. Species whispered in fear. Humans had erased 5 massive fleets without open battle, without pride, without displays of power. Their quiet strength had shifted the balance of power. The galaxy would never be the same. Ethan Brooks looked at the stars. He knew more fleets would come. The alien alliance could not give up easily. They would continue to send forces, each one larger than before, but humans were ready. Their patience, planning, and precision would destroy any army that dared to attack. The galaxy had learned a lesson, slowly and quietly. Humans fought differently, and anyone who underestimated them would fail. No one ever returned after fighting humans. The galaxy had begun to change. Whispers traveled through space faster than fleets could move. Entire empires questioned their strength. The alien alliance, once proud and confident, now faced fear in their hearts. Fleets that had left home with certainty did not return. Soldiers questioned their leaders. Generals debated in endless arguments. No one could understand what humans had done. They had not shouted, they had not displayed power, they had not paraded their fleets. They had simply prepared, waited, and struck with precision. Commander Ethan Brooks looked at the reports with his officers. Lieutenant Rachel Evans, Navigator Olivia Grant, and Weapons Officer Daniel Lee studied the movements of every fleet. They had tracked 5 massive enemy fleets. Each one had entered human space with confidence and pride. Each one had vanished. Humans did not celebrate, they did not boast. They did not need to. The galaxy had begun to understand. Humans were not weak. Humans were unstoppable when they were prepared. Inside the alien alliance, panic was spreading. Carton and Selara argued loudly in the council chamber. "We have lost millions," Selara said. "Every fleet we send is destroyed. We cannot fight them. We cannot understand them. They do not fight like anyone else." Carton slammed his hand on the table. "We cannot admit defeat. We will send more fleets. We will not let humans show weakness. We must win." Their pride still burned, but fear was stronger. The commanders realized that their empire could collapse if humans were not stopped. Yet no one knew how to fight humans. Humans, meanwhile, prepared quietly. Ethan Brooks met with his officers in the command room. "They will continue to send forces," he said. "We will not fight like they expect. We will not rush into battle. We will use patience, planning, and precision. Every enemy fleet that enters our space will fail if we are ready. We do not need open battles. We only need strategy." Rachel Evans nodded. "Every system is prepared. Civilians are safe. Drones are deployed. Hidden weapons are ready. We control every move they make." Ethan smiled quietly. Humans had learned to turn every disadvantage into a trap and every attack into a lesson for the enemy. The alien alliance sent smaller fleets to scout, but even they vanished. Probes and reconnaissance ships never returned. Alien soldiers began to fear even their own commanders. Whispers of human power grew louder. Species across the galaxy began to speak in low voices. "Do not test humans," one diplomat warned. "They destroy fleets without open battle. They are patient, precise, and unstoppable." Even powerful empires began to avoid human systems. Humans had erased 5 massive fleets, and the lesson had begun to spread. Ethan Brooks walked through human stations. Civilians worked quietly. Families repaired ships, crafted weapons, and reinforced defenses. Children carried messages, learned survival lessons, and observed with careful eyes. Elders guided them. Humans did not celebrate fear or power. They worked silently, knowing that preparation and patience would protect them. The alien alliance had no idea that humans had been building these defenses long before the first attack. Humans always planned for survival. In a distant system, alien admirals debated sending another large fleet. "We must strike now," one said. "If we wait, humans will only grow stronger. We cannot let them control the galaxy." Another replied, "Our fleets will fail. We have already lost millions." "We cannot understand their tactics. They do not fight openly. They attack carefully, silently, and completely. We cannot compete." Fear had replaced pride. Soldiers whispered in corners. Even young cadets refused orders to advance. The alien alliance was crumbling from the inside. Ethan Brooks watched the reports carefully. He knew the enemy was scared, but he also knew they would continue to send forces. Humans did not rely on luck. Humans relied on strategy. Every fleet that entered human space walked into carefully planned traps. Gravity distortions, hidden mines, drones, and stealth ships controlled the battlefield. Humans fought in ways no one expected. The enemy had no idea what awaited them until it was too late. On human planets, civilians trained quietly. Families learned to live with efficiency and discipline. Children carried messages, repaired systems, and studied enemy movements. Elders taught survival skills, patience, and observation. Humans did not rely on loud speeches or parades. They prepared carefully, and their enemies paid the price. Ethan Brooks walked among them, observing the calm determination. He knew that humans' greatest strength was not their weapons, but their patience and intelligence. Across the galaxy, the alien alliance sent more scouts. Even small ships disappeared. Communication networks failed. Soldiers feared the humans without ever seeing them. Rumors spread among fleets. "They erase entire forces," one soldier whispered. "We cannot fight them. We cannot win." The alien alliance had learned slowly that humans were not like other species. Humans fought differently. Humans survived differently. Humans did not leave survivors. They struck completely, quietly, and with precision. Ethan Brooks called a meeting with his senior officers. "Every fleet they send is doomed if we are patient," he said. "We do not fight for pride or glory. We fight to survive. Every system is prepared. Every trap is ready. Civilians are safe. We control every enemy movement." "This is how humans win," Rachel Evans nodded. "Every fleet has been destroyed. Every mistake recorded. We are ready for anything. Humans do not need open battles. Our enemies destroy themselves by walking into what we have prepared." Olivia Grant added, "Even the largest fleets cannot defeat us if we are patient. We do not rush. We only strike at the right moment." The alien alliance grew desperate. Generals argued with admirals. Soldiers whispered of defeat. Fleets refused orders. Pride had vanished. Fear ruled their decisions. Humans had changed the galaxy without fighting openly. They had erased 5 massive fleets. The message was clear. Humans did not need to display power. They did not need parades or speeches. They needed only preparation, patience, and precision. The galaxy had begun to fear humans silently. Ethan Brooks watched reports of the next fleets. Smaller groups moved through human systems. Every movement was detected, every step recorded. Humans prepared traps carefully. Alien scouts did not return. Fleets that assumed humans were weak vanished. Civilians observed from shelters. Families remained calm. Children carried messages. Humans had learned to survive through careful planning. The alien alliance did not understand. Their pride was useless. Their fear was real. The galaxy began to change. Species whispered warnings. Empires avoided human systems. Diplomats warned of the danger. "Humans are patient, careful, and precise," one said. "Do not fight them. No one returns after fighting them." Even powerful species began to hesitate before sending fleets. Humans had erased 5 massive fleets, and the lesson spread. Humans had changed the rules of war. Fighting them no longer meant victory, it meant total destruction. Ethan Brooks met with his officers one last time before the next major attack. "The alien alliance is scared," he said. "They will continue to send forces, but they cannot win. Humans do not fight for glory. We fight to survive. Every fleet is doomed if we are patient. Every trap is ready. Civilians are safe. The galaxy is learning that no one ever returns after fighting humans." The officers nodded. They understood. Humans had a way of surviving and winning that no other species could imagine. The Alien Alliance prepared its next large fleet, the 6th and 7th combined. Millions of ships crossed into human space. They assumed humans were weak. They had lost previous fleets to strange luck, not strategy. They did not understand that humans had learned from every battle. Humans controlled the battlefield. Every trap was set, every strike precise. Alien fleets walked into complete destruction without warning. Ethan Brooks observed quietly. His officers guided movements carefully. Drones disabled key ships. Hidden mines destroyed supply lines. Gravitational distortions pulled cruisers into collisions. Humans acted calmly, carefully, but every action was decisive. The alien fleets were destroyed again. Not a single ship returned home. The Alien Alliance faced total failure. They could no longer pretend humans were weak. The galaxy had begun to fear humans silently, carefully, and completely. Humans did not celebrate. They did not shout. They did not display pride. They had destroyed more fleets than anyone could count. Their quiet strength had changed the balance of power. Ethan Brooks walked through human command centers. Civilians worked quietly. Families repaired ships. Children observed systems. Elders guided them. Humans had survived because they prepared. They had won because they were patient. And the galaxy had begun to understand. The Alien Alliance began to collapse. Fleets refused orders. Generals argued endlessly. Soldiers whispered of humans' power. Even empires far away began to avoid human space. Humans had erased fleets without open battle. They had changed the rules of war. Patience, preparation, and precision had become more powerful than numbers, pride, or heroics. The galaxy would never forget humans. No one ever returned after fighting them. Ethan Brooks stood quietly on the bridge looking at the stars. He knew more fleets would come. The Alien Alliance could not give up easily, but humans were ready. Every system was prepared. Every trap set. Civilians were safe. Humans did not fight for pride or glory. They fought to survive. And every enemy that entered human space would be destroyed quietly, carefully, and completely. The galaxy had learned a lesson. No one returned after fighting humans. And that lesson would be remembered forever. The galaxy had changed forever. The Alien Alliance, once proud and confident, now faced fear that could not be erased. Millions of ships had been destroyed. Entire fleets vanished. Soldiers whispered warnings. Generals argued endlessly. No one understood how humans fought, and no one wanted to find out. Humans had erased 5, 6, 7 fleets without open battle, without shouting, without parades. Their quiet strength had rewritten the rules of war. Commander Ethan Brooks stood on the bridge of his command ship, watching reports from every corner of human space. Lieutenant Rachel Evans, Navigator Olivia Grant, and Weapons Officer Daniel Lee gathered around him. Every sensor report told the same story. Alien fleets sent to attack humans never returned. Scouts disappeared. Supply convoys vanished. Even massive warships, thought invincible, were gone. Humans had prepared every system, set every trap, and learned from every previous attack. Patience and precision had proven stronger than pride, numbers, or speed. Inside the Alien Alliance, panic and chaos had replaced pride. Admirals argued, generals refused to give orders, and soldiers whispered in corners. Carton tried to rally his forces. "We cannot give up. Humans cannot be this strong. We will send another fleet. We will show them our power." Solara shook her head. "We have already lost millions. We cannot continue blindly. Humans erase fleets without open battle. Every step we take is a mistake. We cannot win. Fear had replaced pride, and the alien alliance could not recover. They had underestimated humans, and the cost was total destruction. Humans, meanwhile, prepared quietly. Ethan Brooks walked through command centers. Civilians worked in silence. Families repaired ships and reinforced defenses. Children carried messages, watched systems, and learned patience. Elders guided them, teaching lessons of survival and observation. Humans did not rely on heroics or displays of power. They prepared carefully, struck precisely, and waited patiently. Their enemies had no idea what awaited them. The galaxy had learned that humans fought differently, and that difference was deadly. The next alien fleet arrived. It was the largest yet, combining remnants of previous forces. Millions of soldiers, massive warships, advanced technology. They believed they could finally defeat the humans. They assumed humans had luck before, but they would learn differently. As they entered human space, nothing seemed unusual. Planets appeared quiet. Stations were dark. Sensors detected few ships. The alien commanders laughed. They thought humans were hiding, weak, and afraid. They did not know patience and planning were weapons more powerful than any fleet. Ethan Brooks watched silently from the bridge. "Let them make mistakes," he said. "Every fleet they send is already doomed if we are patient. We do not fight for pride or glory. We fight to survive. Every system is prepared. Every trap is ready." Lieutenant Rachel Evans guided fighter squadrons to positions near asteroid fields and hidden stations. Navigator Olivia Grant monitored enemy movements and predicted jumps. Weapons officer Daniel Lee coordinated drones and hidden defense systems. Humans acted quietly, carefully, but every action was decisive. As the alien fleet advanced, humans struck. Drones disabled engines of massive cruisers. Gravity distortions pulled smaller ships into collisions. Hidden mines destroyed supply convoys. Communication networks failed. Chaos spread through the fleet. Alien commanders could not regroup. Ships drifted helplessly, massive warships collided, and soldiers panicked. Within days, the largest fleet ever sent into human space was gone. Not a single ship returned home. The alien alliance faced total defeat. Ethan Brooks called his officers together. "This is what humans do," he said. "We do not fight for glory. We fight so completely that no enemy survives. Every fleet that enters our space walks into traps we have set. Every move they make is already a mistake. Humans prepare, wait, and strike, and that is enough." The officers nodded. They understood. Humans had survived wars, disasters, and impossible odds. Now they had shown the galaxy how deadly their patience and precision could be. Civilians on planets remained calm. Families repaired ships and stations. Children carried messages and observed the stars. Elders guided them with quiet confidence. Humans had survived because they prepared carefully. They had won because they struck decisively. They did not need parades, speeches, or heroic displays. Their quiet strength had reshaped the galaxy. The alien alliance no longer dared to send fleets. They whispered warnings to every empire. Humans had become a silent power no one could challenge. In distant systems, empires began to change plans. Fleets that had been aggressive withdrew. Diplomats negotiated carefully. Spies reported rumors of human traps and vanished forces. Whispers spread. "Do not fight humans. They destroy fleets without open battle. They strike silently and completely. No one returns after fighting them." Even the most powerful species hesitated. Humans had proven that preparation, patience, and intelligence were more dangerous than brute strength or numbers. Ethan Brooks stood quietly on the bridge, thinking about the future. The alien alliance would not stop entirely. More attempts would come. But humans had shown their strength. Every system was prepared, every trap ready. Civilians were safe. Fleets would be destroyed before they could harm anyone. Humans did not need glory or pride. They fought to survive, and that was enough. The galaxy had learned the lesson. Humans were no longer seen as weak or fragile. They were feared quietly, carefully, and completely. The alien alliance began to collapse. Soldiers refused orders, fleets disbanded, and commanders argued endlessly. Even distant empires began to avoid human space. The story of vanished fleets spread across the stars. Humans had erased forces without open battle. They had shown the galaxy that strategy and patience were deadlier than pride and numbers. Ethan Brooks met with his officers one last time to discuss long-term plans. "We will continue to protect our people," he said. "We will maintain readiness. We do not fight for heroics. We fight so completely that no enemy survives. Patience, preparation, and precision are our greatest weapons. The galaxy has learned this." "No one returns after fighting humans." Rachel Evans nodded. "Every fleet has been destroyed, every trap learned. Humans are ready for anything. We do not need open battles. We only need careful planning and execution." Olivia Grant added, "Every enemy mistake is already accounted for. Humans survive because we are patient. Humans win because we are precise." Even the alien alliance sent envoys to negotiate quietly. They did not bring threats or pride. They came with fear. Humans received them politely but firmly. Ethan Brooks spoke to the envoys calmly. "We prefer peace. We do not wish to fight, but any force that attacks our people will be destroyed completely. Humans do not fight for glory. We fight to survive, and that is enough." The envoys left in silence, terrified. The lesson had been delivered. Humans were unstoppable when prepared, and the galaxy would never forget it. In human systems, civilians continued daily life. Families repaired ships, maintained stations, and trained children. Elders guided the younger generation. Humans did not need celebration or parades. The quiet work of preparation and observation had already ensured victory. Humans had survived impossible odds and shown the galaxy their true strength. Patience, planning, and precision had reshaped the balance of power. Stories spread slowly, quietly, but they spread. Alien soldiers told of fleets destroyed without warning. Diplomats whispered in fear. Even distant empires hesitated before acting. Humans had erased massive fleets without open battle, without pride, without heroics. The galaxy had learned a silent, powerful truth. Fighting humans meant complete defeat. No one ever returned after fighting them. Ethan Brooks looked out at the stars. He knew that humans would continue to prepare, watch, and protect their people. Fleets would always be ready, civilians safe, and traps set. Humans did not fight for pride or glory. They fought to survive. Their strength lay in patience, preparation, and precision. The galaxy had learned that lesson. Humans had rewritten the rules of war. The message was clear. Anyone who attacked humans would not survive. As the alien alliance collapsed, species across the galaxy began to respect and fear humans quietly. Empires that had been proud became cautious. Diplomats negotiated carefully. Fleets avoided human systems. Humans had changed the galaxy without open battle. They had survived and won by being patient, precise, and prepared. No one would ever forget the lesson. Humans had become the ultimate force. Commander Ethan Brooks walked through human command centers, observing civilians, families, and officers. Everything was calm. Everything was organized. Humans had survived wars, disasters, and impossible odds. They had defeated massive fleets without open battle. They had shown the galaxy that preparation, patience, and precision were stronger than pride, numbers, or speed. Humans had become a silent power no one could challenge. And in every corner of the galaxy, species learned the same lesson: never test humans. No matter how many ships, soldiers, or weapons you have, humans fight differently. Humans survive differently. Humans strike completely and silently. No one ever returns after fighting humans. The galaxy had been forever changed. The alien alliance had been defeated. Empires had been warned, and humans had secured their place as the ultimate force in the stars. Commander Ethan Brooks stood quietly on the bridge watching the stars. He thought of the future, of fleets yet to come, of civilizations yet to test humans. But he smiled quietly. Humans were ready. Their people were safe. Their traps were set. Patience and precision would protect them, and the galaxy had already learned the lesson. Humans did not fight for glory, they fought to survive, and that was enough. The stars shone quietly above as if acknowledging the change. Humans had survived. Humans had won. The galaxy had learned a powerful truth. No one ever returned after fighting humans, and that lesson would be remembered for generations to come.